Welcome to The Queen's Lair, a lifestyle podcast. Get inspired by our latest tips and information about small business, entrepreneurship, natural hair, travel, food, and even relationships. Stay tuned for another great episode. I am your host, Renee Patrice. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into my podcast once again. I'm going to get a little political. Just a little bit political. I know people keep saying, you gotta vote, you gotta vote, you gotta vote. It is so important. And one of the reasons, I can give you a few today, but one of the reasons why it's so important to vote is because you want to be counted. You need to be counted. Sometimes votes come down to just a couple thousand, which could be literally your neighborhood, your block and the block behind you. We've seen so many elections where the votes have been slim for people to win. It's very unnerving to know that there is a group right now within the House Republicans that has literally signed onto a new, this is news I'm reading to you. This is not foolishness. This is straight up facts. Okay? They represent the majority of House Republicans that are tacking on and, putting their grips into cutting out Social Security and Medicare. This is what is at stake. Okay? This is what they're talking about right now. This is what Republicans are talking about. And if you're a Republican, listen to this, because I'm sure Republicans do listen to my podcast as well. I know they do. They've told me so. That's fine. I don't have anything against whatever side you want to sit on. I'm talking common sense. But this is what's being talked about. There's a push for a nationwide abortion ban. They are also pushing to increase taxes for working families. What else is new? That's been going on since I was a child. But to increase them even more. And on top of that, to cut Social Security and Medicare benefits, because that was always a guarantee. Now, let me be very clear about this, okay? The GOP is not playing games. They're not. And if you're part of the GOP, Republicans, whatever, and you're listening, we know that you don't play games. We get it. But if you think that it is fair to do any of these things to anybody at this point in time, it is absolutely the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. The raising of taxes amongst working families are always the hardest hit when it comes to these sort of things. I'm still in awe and shock and awe, I guess you could say, that there are states who have pulled. Listen, the fact that Roe versus Wade is not even a thing anymore, it's beyond me. But a nationwide abortion ban. Seriously? And the thing is, a lot of people keep talking about, these are women that are just walking in having these abortions like they're doing, they're using this as birth control. My thing is, what slips through the cracks are the ectopic pregnancies, are the miscarriages, All of those things. Those are the things that slip through the cracks. Rape victims. These are all of the things that slip through the cracks. And people keep talking about miscarriage. Miscarriages are nothing but spontaneous abortions. That's what they are. And now, before you had your privacy, now you have to prove that a miscarriage, this is something that women go through every single day. Now you're going to have to prove, quote unquote, that your miscarriage was real. Is this some kind of, what do they call it, dipsofan? What is the word? What is happening? You're cutting, or you have the thought process to cut Social Security and Medicare. Now let's really look at this. First of all, let me just lay it on down the line here. If you are a working person in America, you earned your Social Security. You earned those benefits. It's literally money that you worked for. And when you become of age as a senior, you in turn get some of that back, a percentage. I'm really trying to understand. These are the three big things that are up in November, that we have to be so careful how we vote. There is a push. This is amongst the GOP. There is a push for a nationwide abortion ban, increased taxes for working families, and cuts to Social Security and Medicare benefits. So we are talking about people like my mother. We're talking about your parents, anybody who is at that age. We're talking about ourselves. I think more about retirement now than I ever have. I'm in my late 40s. I have to be smart. I got to think what's going on in the world. People, if you don't think voting is important, I don't know how else to convince you. I really don't. This is becoming where federal government will have their hands so deep in your personal life that you will barely be able to survive. This is the agenda. Everybody wants to talk about, this agenda, that. No, this is the agenda that they're trying to make it so that it's almost communist-like. You can't move unless we say. Now you have to show the burden of proof that your miscarriage that you have been through. And there are women in my family who have suffered miscarriages on their journey to be parents. And now you literally have to flip the script and prove to them why that was not some secret abortion that you had. Are you kidding me? People, y'all need to get on the good foot with this. I'm not even joking. Y'all know I sit on boards of different organizations. Listen, I can't even concentrate sometimes because this is really disheartening to me. GOP cannot get control because there's going to be a whole lot of dialing back that we're going to have to do. Yes, Biden stepped in the other day and did an executive order, to keep services available for women, reproductive services in some regards for women, but there's so much more needs to be done. All it takes is for a different president to come in office with an opposing view, and they can flip that back over. There are things that need to be done, and that's laws passed so that we don't have these horrible, horrible situations happen. Social Security belongs to you. You earned it. You worked for it. And now they're telling you, oh, thank you for your services. You're out. Bye. And then on top of it, want to raise your taxes? No. Think if you never voted in your life, now would be the time. And you can't just vote on one subject. You have to look at the whole picture. Because people often vote on one subject matter and then throw the baby out with the bathwater with everything else. Because they don't really look at the full picture of the candidates that they are voting for. I just like what he said about this. I just like what she said about that. And they roll with that. But don't look at the rest of the people's agenda. The rest of the agenda that they're sliding in through the back door. And this is what needs to happen. I'm telling you, it's so important. Your local elections, all these primaries and everything that we've had, those things are important. Just as much as a presidential vote. Your local politicians, your local city aldermen, all of that is important. Your local judges, your county clerks, all those people. Anything that you're able to vote for, do it. Research the people that you're voting for. Make informed decisions. Don't just spew what other people are telling you to say. Make informed decisions. Think about your family. Think about human beings as we live and breathe today, and what is going to be the best decision overall. Because we can't just vote on one thing and throw everything else in the box with it. It just doesn't work that way. So, needless to say, I'm super disappointed that this is where the country is going. And I know I'm going to do my part to vote against anyone who is even sitting in favor of any of these things. But, I can't do it by myself, and hopefully if you want to have, listen, I'm not even joking. If you want to have a conversation about this, GOP, Republican, whatever, I'm not hating people because of what they choose. You can choose to be whatever you want to be. I'm talking about doing the right thing. As we are a human race living together in this world. Like they say, no man is an island, and that is the truth. So if you want to have more conversation about it, I'm very much open to it. I would love to even get the logic behind all of this to see why would you want to cut Social Security? What is the reasoning for cutting Medicaid, especially when you're going to raise taxes on top of that? If you're from a different country, I have many, many different countries that tune in. What is your country? Where does your country stand? What's the equivalent of Social Security in your country? What's the equivalent of Medicare or Medicaid in your country? Do you have universal health care? Do you think universal health care is better? I would love to know the answers to some of these questions. But definitely, I'm just getting a little political today. Y'all know I have a political background, but I don't dabble in that world much anymore. But I do keep up with what's going on. It's very serious. And we need to, this is not a time to joke around. Like, share, subscribe to this podcast. Pass it along to someone who you think would enjoy it and, get the good feels out of it. And I will shout you out in my Instagram stories if you tag me and let me know that you're listening at Onyx Queen Media. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye. Online savings simplified. Don't search for coupon codes ever again. With one click, Honey's smart shopping assistant will automatically apply discounts to your cart in seconds. Save on all your favorite things. Easily pay less for products you're already buying online. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Join Honey for free. It takes 2 clicks to add Honey to your Chrome, Safari, Firefox, or Opera browser. Find savings in seconds. While you shop, Honey will find working promo codes across the entire internet, and you save instantly. With one click, Honey will apply the best deals to your cart. It's that easy. So what are you waiting for? Get Honey. Download it today. Visit our link, www.tinyurl.com/ONYXHONEY. That's www.tinyurl.com/Onyx Honey. Start saving right now.